Yeah, well, and the dirty little secret, Glenn, I mean, of the teams here in the States, I would say, is that a lot of them, if not most of them, and maybe I'll get some pushback on this, and it's possible I don't quite have, maybe my numbers are a little bit off, but I would venture to say most teams, especially the ones that have scaled up in the last 10 years, have scaled up by adding buyer's agents and scaling up their online buyer lead generation, which for you guys in Australia, like that, there are no buyer's agents. There aren't dedicated buyer's agents for that side of the transaction. So that probably goes a long way towards explaining it too, in terms of
When I
why
say that,
mega
the
teams haven't
buyers
developed.
agents, the buyers agents in Australia will be screaming at me and saying, "Bullshit! What about us?" They are here, but it is not. But it is not the norm of the way
Right.
real estate is every day transacted. Meaning,
Yeah.
agents list properties and represent the sellers, and then
Mm,
we advertise direct to consumers.
mm,
Consumers come to open homes without representation, and they negotiate on their behalf with the agent. Sometimes what's an interesting phenomena down here is the agent is facilitating the deal. And in fact, most of the time it's a reality. In fact, I would say at least half the time that agent should be representing the best interests of the seller. Period. End of story. But a
mm.
lot of times what the
Right.
agent is doing is just facilitating a deal and working on the weakness of either party, whoever that happens to be. They're being remunerated by a seller with a fiduciary obligation to work in the best interests of the seller. And yet, if the seller needs to sell more than the buyer needs to buy, they're working that seller down to get them to accept a lower price, etc. So, but what should happen here in Australia is the buyer should be coming, negotiating against an agent, where the agent is friendly and courteous and nice and respectful and all of that, but in no way are they negotiating on behalf of that buyer. They need to be closing that buyer on the highest price possible, period, in order to get that seller the most money. And the buyers don't have a negotiation representative on their half of the equation. They are just doing it themselves. And
Right.
so, yeah. But because they are they think the real estate agent is there to it's an interesting phenomenon. Some people do think that
Yeah.
real estate agent, they don't know that real estate agent should be seen by the buyers as the negotiating enemy,
Mm.
you know? And
Right.
yeah, but there is only one agent
Mm.
normally in a transaction, normally looking after the seller, and buyers coming direct to that agent to buy the home direct. There